Hi everybody, I'm FreeRider2142. This is going to be a review of the Mitsubishi Boys XO-260. I'm going to be reviewing both his design and mine. I'm just going to put out a quick tip for helicopter designers out there. When you're making up your helicopter, hit space, check your center of mass. Make sure that your main rotor and the center of mass are as close to each other, or the center of mass is just in front of the main rotor system. You'll see me loading up my edited in a moment, and you'll see that the rotor system, the center of mass, and the winch, any external weight that's going to be added is going to be added as close as possible to this line, basically. That's how the helicopter maintains stability. I also moved the gyros as close to that as possible so they work. But now this helicopter can work completely without gyros. So just a quick tip for you helicopter builders, because if you want me to try your helicopters and things like that, if your helicopter cannot fly without a gyro, I automatically consider it a fail, or I will have to edit it constantly. I will have to heavily edit it to make it fly sometimes. Alright, back to today's topic. This is the Mitsubishi Boy X-Ray Oscar 260 Saori, or XO-260 Saori. It's an interesting helicopter. I just think you don't have a lot of experience building helicopters to understand things like I said before. Control-wise, basically you have AG1, Activation Group 1 is lights, Activation Group 2 is magnet. A bit of a problem is that Activation Group 2 and trim is the winch, so you cannot disengage the magnet without disengaging the winch and vice versa. Activation Group 8 will turn off your gyros, don't touch it. I disengaged the gyros right about now, and it's not gonna be pretty. Next up is the throttle controls the engine RPM, and your VTOL controls your collective. So be aware it's got a lot of power. So be aware of that. I get mixed up between the two because I'm used to always having the throttle as collective, and I don't have VTOL set on anything, I think. I did edit this helicopter, and you're gonna see the footage later on when we get to it. I edited a lot of things. I put the cockpit inside, well, the cockpit, so you have different visuals. I made the rotor system coaxial, so they rotate counterclockwise to each other. One rotate clockwise, one rotate counterclockwise. They rotate in each other's opposite directions, basically. I made a video about different rotor systems. I'll add a link in the description if you want to check that out. Other than that, I really like the design. I think it's pretty cool. Now, when I test helicopters, I'm gonna start testing them here generally. I usually just go around test them, but this is a cool place to test them. As you can see, this helicopter is not a coaxial rotor system. It's got two rotors, but they both rotate in the same direction. That could be a bug in the upload, or I don't know. But generally speaking, I'm gonna start testing helicopters here, and this is what I do. I just fly them around, test them, see how they react, see their maneuverability. This helicopter cannot fly without gyros, as I mentioned before, so it's kind of a fail for me. I wouldn't fly this helicopter myself, but if you guys want and you don't mind it, fly it. It's a great helicopter with a gyro on. It just leans a bit backwards, so pay attention to that. Makes it a bit unstable. So now I've loaded up this little fart that I have because there's two trucks on it that can be picked up by the magnets. The Orca can get picked up as well, but that thing weighs, I think, something like 11 or 12 tons, so it's hard to lift it. Either way. So this is gonna be my little review of this helicopter. It's a great helicopter if you don't mind flying with the gyros on all the time, because it limits your maneuverability and the capabilities of the helicopter itself. And the design is cool. You'll see that in my edit. I tried not to touch anything in the design as much as possible. So from now on, I'll probably join you guys on when I get back to my design. Alright, well, now moving on to the XO-260 Saori, the freerider edit. This is what I did to the helicopter. I centered up all the the center of lift, and center of thrust, sorry, and center of mass to the main rotor systems. I made them coaxial, so now they counter-rotate to each other's rotation direction, basically, one clockwise, one counterclockwise. Like I said, I made a video about how to set up these rotor systems. I'll leave a link in the description below. And basically, this is my design. The control-wise, it can fly completely without a gyro. It's a much more stable helicopter, and it's much more maneuverable as well because of this. I'll fly it 90% of the time with the gyro off when I'm flying. That's kind of the thing with helicopters. They have great maneuverability with their gyros off. So basically the control schemes is like this. Activation group 1 is the lights. Activation group 2 is the winch with the trim included. Activation group 3 is the magnet, so you can disengage the magnet when you activate the winch, so you can set up the winch before coming in and the magnet won't catch up to anything you don't want it to catch up. And a black flip. That's beautiful flying this helicopter. I'm really happy with the design and I think it flies excellently. Other than that, activation group 7 now turns engines on and off. Just press 7 and it'll start the engines, put them to full RPM. Just wait for them to rev up. And you can shut them down as well. Activation group 8 turns off the gyros. You can turn them off or on whenever you want. If you want to come in to pick up things, I use it myself. I turn on the gyros just to have more stability as I'm coming to pick up something from the ground. So what you're seeing here is basically my second flight with this helicopter. My first flight, you'll see it at the end of this review. Here I shut down the engine just to see auto rotation and such, so it's very controllable and it can do auto rotations. I'm very happy with that. And I'm gonna put it a few paces right now, so enjoy the rest of the video. And I'll leave a link to both helicopters in the description below. I don't want you to think that I'm bashing on the Mitsubishi Boy's original design. It's actually a good design. I love it. I just think he or she might need more experience in designing helicopters specifically. I hope my tips really help you, and I will be glad to see more helicopters and test them out. Just remember, try to understand these basic rules of helicopters, kind of like airplanes have their own center of mass, lift, and thrust that they need to be set up with to fly in certain ways. Helicopters kind of hang below their rotor system, so every weight and all the center of mass should always be on that center of the rotor system. So, hopefully this will help. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. guys, this is the final clip I was talking about. This is from my first flight with this helicopter, and this is my second test of picking up helicopters from the ground. The first one, the magnet was too low, so I increased its strength. But it's a cool little test. Anyways, if you want me to check out any creations, you can tag me in the creations description, or just write in the description of one of my videos about your creation, and I'll check it out if I can. I'm not making any promises to make videos on it or anything like that, but if I see something I like, I might make a video out of it. Let me know in the comments if you like this video in general, and keep watching until the end. I'll see you guys next time. Have fun. one last thing. I got a personal question here. Have you ever been so angry you decided to air suplex an AA tank with a helicopter? Give me your answers.